Mahmoud and Nicole Sherbini had a complicated relationship on season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, they should separate up because it is so clear. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Alina. Keep watching for more interesting details. And don't forget to subscribe, so let's start. No relationship was as difficult as the one between Mahmoud and Nicole Sherbini in season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, the 90 Day Fiancé franchise pair ought to think about calling it quits. Nicole and Mahmoud have now been married for a number of years. Although they stated at the tell-all that they were still married, there are several reasons why they ought to think about divorcing permanently. Season 4 of The Other Way featured Nicole and Mahmoud some years into their union. As liberal and independent Americans they met. Nicole was in Egypt on vacation. Mahmoud, a traditional Egyptian man who had never been in a relationship, proposed to her the moment they met. Then Nicole returned to Egypt to secretly wed him. Yet given how miserable she was, she ultimately decided to go back to the US. It felt like the pair would be better off giving up during that episode of The Other Way season 4, when Nicole tried for some reason to try living in Egypt once more. As underlined in season 4 of The Other Way, Nicole and Mahmoud's divergent worldviews are one factor that makes them incompatible. Mahmoud convinced Nicole to become a Muslim, but she admitted during the entire season that she was questioning her decision and her beliefs. Nicole was in a difficult situation because it was evident she didn't fully comprehend the religion. Mahmoud has made it plain that he must have a Muslim girlfriend and raise Muslim children, demonstrating how important his Muslim faith is to him. Nicole, however, does not adhere to his fervent convictions. Nicole and Mahmoud don't share the same religious beliefs. They do, however, differ in other significant and small ways. Nicole is outgoing and eager to get to know her partner's acquaintances. She enjoys spending time with men and engaging in activities as a free-spirited Western woman. She goes to yoga classes and eats at restaurants, for instance. Mahmoud leads an extremely traditional life, therefore Nicole's options are constrained by adhering to his traditions. She is unable to even go swimming without donning a cover-up, a burkini. During the 4th season of The Other Way, the cultural disparities between Nicole and Mahmoud were highlighted. Together with other members of his family, including his mother, Mahmoud resides in an apartment. Nicole, however, is unwilling to live with his family. She was visibly surprised by living in Egypt. Nicole was obviously miserable while traveling around the city with Mahmoud and staying in his family's apartment. She struggled to get used to Mahmoud and his family's preferred way of life in Egypt and did not feel at home there. Several couples in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise are incredibly different from one another, but they manage to coexist. Unfortunately, Nicole and Mahmoud haven't yet realized this. To get more involved in Mahmoud's life, Nicole pushed him to let her meet his friends. Unfortunately, everyone found this uncomfortable. Nonetheless, Mahmoud was always at odds with Nicole's new yoga friend. It is obvious that Nicole and Mahmoud cannot get along well enough to enjoy themselves very much. Nicole revealed how challenging it is to make friends in Egypt. Season 4 of The Other Way focused on the continual disputes between Nicole and Mahmoud. The pair can't go more than a few hours without fighting, and their conflicts are over everything and everything. Their relationship seems to be rife with arguments that frequently turn violent. Nicole and Mahmoud frequently squander time engaging in pointless yelling matches and repetitive conversations. Mahmoud becomes extremely enraged and lunges at Nicole. She pushed back after he once pushed her. One of several 90 Day Fiancé franchise couples with a language problem is Nicole and Mahmoud. Despite not having English as his native tongue, Mahmoud does speak it. Perhaps as a result of the linguistic barrier, he frequently turns to calling Nicole names rather than working out problems. Nicole finds it incredibly challenging to settle with life in Egypt because she is unable to contact his family. beyond only speaking different languages. The Other Way Season 4 couples' communication issues prevent them from solving any of their issues. Mahmoud's tendency toward control is a key factor in why Nicole and Mahmoud are incompatible as a marriage. Nicole's behavior is the subject of numerous assumptions and expectations from Mahmoud. He wants a traditional Muslim woman since he is a conservative Muslim man. He makes Nicole wear a certain way, which is a huge source of contention. Additionally, he urges her to cover her hair and lead a more traditional and conservative lifestyle. Nicole, however, disobeys her husband's directives. She needs to modify who she is in order to win his approval, which makes her incredibly miserable. Despite Mahmoud's influence over her, Nicole acknowledged that she isn't a perfect companion. During the 4th season, Tell All of the Other Way, she revealed her actual self. She requested drama with Mahmoud from Gabe Paboga, ostensibly because she wanted Mahmoud to be exposed. She had previously performed the identical action with a yoga acquaintance. Despite not wanting to be the one forced to approach Mahmoud, Nicole is eager for him to change. She makes an effort to lure others into doing it for her. Ultimately, Nicole and Mahmoud are a couple from the 90 Day Fiancé franchise that never ought to have gotten married in the first place.